The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 4, title The Whole World is Watching. And this episode is a better episode than last week. Last week was just... It felt like a downgrade, like a lesser quality that we would normally get from Marvel. But this episode is better. It is at least at worst good. This episode is good. And what is the biggest takeaway? It isn't the Flag Smashers, it isn't Zemo, it isn't Wakanda and the Hallucinage, which is one of my criticisms with this episode, which I will talk about later. It's not Sam and Bucky, it's none of those things. It's John Walker. It's US Agent, it's the new Captain America. And initially, each scene of this episode that this character's in, you're like, oh no, like just like this sense of like, like at the beginning you kind of knew the sense of pressure, like here's, you are the new Captain America, one hell of a legacy to actually pick up, right? Yeah, you're the new Cap. But then the pressure keeps going on. Two of Steve Rogers' friends are like push out on you. The things are not going your way, and then we dive a little bit more of his backstory about his metals, about his achievements, and how in his eyes his achievements are bullshit. So he feels like he has the right to do something right, but his methods and how he approaches himself is such anti-Cap. Like, it's a very anti-Cap, and it's to the point you're like, dude, you hand over that shield back. Like, Sam, you take him back. Bucky, you take that shield. Because, like, even, I don't want to hit the spoilers, but at the end, you're like, you have gone through a road that you have no sense of cross. Like all the comments that he made to Bucky about, oh, you think you're so special with the super soldier, with the seal and that metal arm of yours, or him making comments, little comments of that. I feel like he's getting patronized while he's actually not. It's how he, his name is Captain America, and he doesn't feel like he's the captain. Like, you feel this sense of like, this guy's just a ticking time bomb, and when it happens, you're like, fuck. Well, we know who at least we know who's Sam and Bucky is going to fight in 2 weeks. Because it feels like the Flag Smashers story, it might be like, one's going to be like Bucky's going to fight John, and you got the Flag Smashers for Falcon, for Sam. Now, one of the criticisms I have, which I talk about, I'll talk about later, kind of stuff, is last week the big cliffhanger was the the warriors of Wakanda, and they're like, we're here for Zemo. And I won't lie, they're present in this episode. I was like, did you really need them? Like, we have 3 action sequences in this episode. One, like a little mini chase, so you got the big one at the end, and this middle one fight, I was like, okay, this doesn't feel necessary. Like, we know who they are, we all know, the narrative-wise with the action sequences, probably just remind us that John Walker's not that level or trained that he thinks he is, but the action sequence was pointless. Their presence was pointless, and to the point you're like, is this just hinting Black Panther 2? Is this hinting another movie or show that Zemo is in, but we just don't know? That we don't know that Zemo's in. Like, I mean, to be fair, like, Black Panther's meant to be shooting in July, and we don't know who's the new Black Panther, who's going to take on the mantle. So it's a whole minefield. It's a whole I just felt that the Wakanda element of this episode, I just thought you could have cut out, and it could have been pointless. But yeah, the rest of the episode was good. It is a very quick episode. They go and talk to the villain, reason to them. It doesn't go that way, and then it's, action sequence. So that's essentially the episode, and it's a good telling of that type of episode. And we only got 2 more weeks left, and so far this show's been good. It's been pretty good. It's not as great as WandaVision, but it doesn't have to. But this show, pretty good, pretty solid.